just going to be honest for a second. I sometimes get in a kind of lousy mood, kind of poopy, maybe even resentful, when I work really hard at something around the house and my husband doesn't seem to even notice. Or I bring it to his attention so he has to notice and he just goes, oh, that's great. And I'm thinking, what? Because here's the deal. I have made a decision, I think with God's prompting, that even though both my husband and I work full-time in ministry, that I have just felt God kind of tap me on the shoulder and say, you know what? You can take care of the household chores, the dusting and the vacuuming and the cleaning of the toilets and all those wonderful jobs that I so love. So that my husband has even more time to spend serving God. Now, do I really feel cheerful about picking up these extra responsibilities? Not so much. And I'm always kind of thinking that when Raul does come home, he's going to go like, wow, look at all these things that you've done. And he's going to pat me on the back and I'm going to go, yes, I know I'm amazing. But sometimes that doesn't happen. Rarely does that happen. I mean, sometimes he says thanks, but he's not falling all over himself in gratitude. And then I start to kind of go, what? I was working to please him and he should see this. And I know my voice is getting higher and higher, isn't it? Well, here's what God's showing me. And maybe this relates to you too. There's only one person we really need to seek to please, and that is God. And you know what God says? He says that we should be the servant of all. In Matthew 9, he says, anyone who wants to be first must be the very last and the servant of all. And here's another cool thing, because the servant thing doesn't really sound that great, right? Here's another really cool thing. In Matthew 6, verse 4, Jesus says, your Father who sees what is done in secret will reward you. I do have an audience that does approve, who does say, good job, Debbie. That audience is Jesus. You have him as an audience as well. Seek to please him, and that should be enough. You have an eternal reward waiting for you in heaven. I know that can kind of sound like a platitude. You'll get your eternal reward in heaven, but it's true.